My next guest has never made six figures, didn't start saving money until he was 40, and still retired before he was 60. Here to tell us how he did it and what you should know before you stop working is Duane with Retire Early 500K. He's documenting his retirement journey on YouTube. Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing well. All right, you live in California most of the time. You work in the music industry. Didn't start saving until your 40s. What was it that you said, I got to start saving money? I think that happens with a lot of us. We kind of get some stuff out of the way, and then we hit our midlife crisis and go, I got to start saving for the other half of life.
Exactly, because I had started a little bit when I was 35, but not much, kind of off and on, off and on. So finally, I'm getting to my late 30s, and I'm like, okay, I know I want to retire sometime. So I just started saying, hey, you got to start doing it consistent. So at 40 is when I really started doing it consistently, not missing a paycheck.
When you say to people, you got to save, most of the time they'll say, save what? I'm like 30 cents away from having a quarter. You never made, the most you ever made was $75,000. And that can be a lot to some people, but in California, that's not a lot. You retired at 59 with $500,000 total.
Yeah, it's 75,000 isn't much. And you know what? I was laid off from my music industry job in 2010. And I was at $75,000. Each subsequent job I had after that, I went down to like 70, 68, 65. So the last 11 years before I retired, my salary was going down. So all you have to remember is that as long as you can save and at least meet your company match for your 401k, that's a good place to start.
Yeah. All right. In 2021, when the market tanked, and we know it did in 2008, but in 2021, you survived, and partly because of some of the tools that you had in terms of how to save and protect your money.
Yeah, I can actually, one of my most popular segments is I give an update on exactly where I am each month. So at the top there, you can see where I was when I retired. About a year and a half after that, I was down $110,000. And now a year and a half after that, I'm almost back to where I was when I started, when I retired. So part of my message is that it doesn't matter what's going on in the market. As long as you stick to your plan, everything should be fine, even though it's scary, because I retired in a really bad market.
You're a regular person. You're not a financial advisor. You just wanted to do this because I think most people are kind of in the boat that you are right now. We try to do this stuff ourselves. We're trying to figure it out, going with what we've been told. So 5 things you didn't know before retirement, because retirement, I have several friends who recently retired. They're like, this is strange. We do get time to watch your show now, and they watch it together. They call each other and go, did you see this? Did you see that? But it's a different feeling. One of them, it's hard to stay connected to former coworkers because you always say, no, I'm not going away. I'm just not going to show up at work every day.
Yes. You know what? It's like I really had no idea that was going to happen when I retired. I'm like, okay, I have friends here at work, and I'll keep in touch. But yeah, you have a different life. They have a different life. And I should have known though, because when I sent out my goodbye email, I got maybe 2 or 3 responses. I sent it to about 30 people.
All right. Okay. The other thing is a realization. Yes, the money really does stop coming in.
Yes. One of the hardest things to do when you retire is going from a saving mindset to a spending mindset, because you've been doing all these years just save, save, save. And now it's like, okay, I don't need to save anymore, but there's no more money coming in. I have to start spending all of that money that I saved. That can take some months to adjust to that.
Yeah, and understand that there's certain things that you can't do that you used to do when you could count on that paycheck. You may need part-time work, so retirement doesn't have to mean that you fully retire.
No, and I have a term that I use. It's called the new retirement, and it's not so much you need to get part-time work, but you may want to do that just because there's so much time in the day, for you to do whatever you want to do, and it would be great if you could have a hobby or two that would bring in some extra income, because those of us in moderate income, we could always use extra income. So I'm lucky I started this YouTube channel, because that's bringing me, number one, it's something I really enjoy, but number two, it's bringing me, a little extra money each month.
Yeah. I want to be a greeter at somebody's store. I can't wait to do that. All right. The other thing is life slows down, and also you say it's so much fun. So look forward to what you can do and how life can change.
Deborah, it's like when I go out in the morning, I schedule the early part of my morning to do all my errands. But you know what? I'm done by like 11 a.m. I've got the rest of the day. And if you don't have like something you want to do, you're kind of scratching your head going, okay, and that can get a lot of people in trouble. They need some structure. Me, not so much, but
Yeah.
it's a big adjustment. It really is. And it's something that may take a couple of years for people to, once they get out over that honeymoon stage of 6 months, they're like, yes. It might take a while to adjust to that.
Yeah. All right, Travis, I'm talking to our line producer right now. Do I have time to ask him one more question? Okay, he said, do it. Okay, here's the deal.
Okay.
When you say started a YouTube channel, and so there are a lot of people who either they kind of miss that technology mark. They're like, well, what is a YouTube again? Or there are people who think, oh, yeah, okay, but where do I start? So how do you start a YouTube channel and how do you start to monetize it?
Well, you know what? You start by just posting videos. I have to tell you, my first like 5, 10 videos, I was cringing, because it's like you upload them and you're like, oh my God, what are people going to think? And they weren't that good either. It just takes practice. So number one, you just have to upload. Number two is that you have to look for an under-serviced niche. In my case, most people said you need $1 million to retire. No, you don't. I didn't. I had half of that. So that's why I started a YouTube channel on that topic.
All right. Duane, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right. And you can see more of Duane's retirement journey on his YouTube channel at Retire Early 500K 59.